So we're just gonna start out this video by me saying I love being correct. Very quickly, I'll show you that how I made $5,000 just in the day. And really, I'll just put my phone up on the screen right now. Hold up, $5,000 on the day, and that's all just on Nikola puts. So about a week ago, I shot a video saying, why you shouldn't invest in Nikola. And it was actually pretty contentious. Like, there were a lot of people who were pro Nikola. Got a couple hundred views, which for my channel, its current state, was actually a lot. Now we're about a week, literally a week later, I woke up this morning, there was some news that the GM deal basically fell through, right, or got restructured, but the deal that as everybody understood it essentially fell through, right? GM is not going to be investing in Nikola, so there's going to be no injection of capital happening at all. So the stock price tanked on the morning. I woke up with a smile on my face, made a couple grand. Here's the thing though, there's still more to come. Nikola still has the insider share lockup period, which is ending this week, right? So the market's gonna be hit with a ton of shares, and I have a ton more puts in play throughout December. So I'll share those here, on my screen, probably right about now. Pop that up on the screen. But here's really what I wanted to do in the gist of this video, right? When you look at a company, guys, right, as investors, as people thinking long term, right, and that's what we do here, right? My name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. You presumably, your name is whatever it is. You invest in stuff, right? We've got to be thinking, logically here, right? We can't be hoping that things go the way that we want them to. And looking at Nikola, I'm excited about EVs. I think the EV space is awesome. I love the idea of living in the future with super cool electric vehicles, but not all companies are made the same. It's pretty easy, if you look at the conversations that happened with on CNBC recently with their CEO. If you look at their income statements, if you look at the fraud allegations and the way that they've handled those, it's just kind of a clear-cut case, folks. Like, it's very, very easy. And so we've got to be really, really prudent as investors. Think logically, look at the numbers, listen to the things that they're telling us, right? I see one of the simplest mistakes you can make is to not listen to the things that people are telling you and try to infer something else, right? That gets really cultish and weird, I think, when investors do that and say, well, they're probably going to do this or they're probably going to do that. I guarantee you they're not probably going to do anything that they didn't say they were going to do. That's just not how business works. Especially when you bring in contra firms or people who are trying to work with said company, all of that evaporates immediately, right? If something's super private and we're not taking an inside look and there's no necessarily need to be transparent because everything is just being kept inside, that's an entirely different story. But this is a publicly traded company that's trying to do business and make partnerships with other companies, and they're gonna have to open the books up, right? Deals don't get done unless you open those up and you allow us a look inside to see how things are going, and everybody's looked inside and they're not doing so hot, right? So currently, there's not a ton of upside for Nikola. I'm not going to say that the company can't have a future at some point, but their current roadmap, I don't see a path to revenue for them right today. And with this insider share lockup period happening soon, there's going to be a huge amount, again, of shares flooding the market. I was right last week. If you were listening to me in my last video, you would have locked in your gains. You probably made a ton of money. You probably would have bought some short positions. You would have made a ton of money. If you didn't listen to me, or if you're long in Nikola, I guarantee you're going to lose money, right? And even though I said that, again, this is just my opinion, not making a recommendation, but definitely listen to the things that I'm saying, apply them, and just think about them, consider them at least, right? I made a decent amount of money, and what I would like to do is help everybody who is subscribed to this channel, right? We're all investors. We invest in things. I want to help you, change your financial future. That's really my goal here. My goal is to help you change your financial future. So we're all in this together. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, right, in this play. I'm personally shorting this company. Doesn't mean you should do your own research, but I do want to put this information out there because there's a ton of other information or people, trying to convince retail traders, people who have to go and earn their money every day to, basically go and buy the stock and help pump it up, which is really unfortunate. I don't like that. I think that's, it's a small reason why I started the channel, but it is one of the reasons, right? I don't want to see people get burned. I want investing to be more accessible. Well, I guess it is accessible, but I want people to do it in a way that is smart and ultimately beneficial for their futures, and so that they don't get burned. I don't think that you need to be scared, but you do need to be prudent. You do need to be smart and think about these things. Doing due diligence on a company is not just looking at the graph, right? It's not. You need to look at the revenues. Read the news for the past 2 years. Look up who's running the company. Where did they come from? What other companies did they come from? What are the things that they're saying? How do they address their business plan and talk about these things? And that's all that due diligence is. It doesn't take a long time. Plot some things in a spreadsheet if you like. It helps. It's not as complicated as people think it is. Right now, when you start doing calculations on, like, if you want to learn how to calculate the PE, which is already done for you, by the way, or if you just want to learn what all these things are and understand technical and all these different types of analysis, that's another thing. But in general, you can gain a lot of information or make better decisions just by looking at this information, understanding what these ratios are, what they mean, understanding what it means if a company has a ton of revenue and then their revenue declines and then their financing is increasing and their assets are declining, right? Maybe they're not doing so well, right? Why are revenues going down and financing increasing and their assets decreasing, right? If they're an early stage growth company. These are just some things to think about, right? It adds up, and I can tell you, in business, there's no magic, right? There's not like in a situation like that, nobody's coming in to look to save Nikola, right? There would be no reason to. If I had a novel business idea or something like that, I would just go start my own company. VCs have so much excess capital. There's no reason to take this thing, which is a cash sink, and is likely the cost of business is going to be more expensive than just doing something somewhere else without all the baggage. And if you missed last week's video, I'm going to go ahead and encourage you to subscribe today so you don't miss any future ones where I talk about the plays that I'm doing. So go ahead, hit that sub button now. I'll be putting my positions out as I do them, and you can come along for the ride. So let's take a total look, or a look at just all my positions here really quick. I have a few 22.5 puts. I actually have a $10 put that I bought kind of randomly out there, just for about 10 cents each. Those have appreciated a considerable amount. Those will also appreciate if the price continues to drop. I have a few $26 puts, and I actually have a total of another set of 22.5 puts that are further out. So I'll completely disclose all these positions, I think, once I sell out of these. I do not want to necessarily encourage people to hold the exact same positions as me. Again, I'm not recommending that, but in general, I can tell you that I am shorting this, and I'll share this once I get out of all these positions. But in your research, it's something that could be worth thinking about, knowing that a ton of Nikola shares are going to hit the market, right? And there's no reason for them not to. Given the state of their company, you should trade/invest accordingly, right? And in terms of Nikola, I think this is more of a trading thing. Investing, I would say, is probably another category when you're dealing with equities, of looking long term, which is, again, if you want to be an investor, you should do that. This is more of a trade play in that regard. In any case, that is it for this one. I was just pretty excited to see that 5 gram pop. I'm sure I'm going to see another pop. It'd be pretty cool, actually, if I could make about 10 or 15 G's on this. Looking back, I probably would have put a little bit more money in, YOLO my account, as they say. But that's not necessarily, it's certainly not advice that I would give to everyone. I do this largely because it's a lot of fun. But when it comes to investing and thinking smartly about your money, you definitely don't want to YOLO your entire account. I know it sounds cool. You're gonna see people who make a ton of money, but you will see many more who will lose all of their life savings and things like that. So just understand the risk. Don't play with money that you're not willing to lose. I'm willing to lose every single dollar that you see on this screen, every single one, guys. And if you're not willing to lose all that money, just keep that in mind, right? Is all my money at risk? No, it's not. You know, you can invest it all in, you know, the total market, right? For the total market to go to zero, basically, you know, America doesn't exist. So I have bigger problems at that point, like survival. So the risk of, you know, my total portfolio going to zero, since I have things invested in the total market is not impossible. But like I said, in that case, the world's likely ended. I'm not gonna be worried about the value of my stocks anymore. I'm not gonna be selling them. I'm gonna be trying to find bread and bullets. But in any case, I think that's it for this one. I've said everything I want to say. I appreciate you for stopping by. Help me get to 10,000 subscribers. You could be the next one. Let me know what you want me to talk about down in the comments. If you agree or disagree, please let me know. I enjoy having these discussions. Definitely want to know, you know, what your thoughts are on Nikola and definitely on other companies. You have other companies that you want me to look into. I have limited time. I don't try to necessarily invest in anything, but I'm definitely interested in investing in things and taking and certainly trading on things that other folks are interested in for a myriad of reasons. So drop those down below. But again, that's it for this one. Forest Night out.